So today's look is definitely really dark and smoky, but I decided to just go for it. I'm using a couple foil shadows by Makeup Geek. I love those. I can't say enough good things about the foil shadows or Makeup Geek in general. Marlena can do no wrong. And I'm also busting out the Sonia Kashuk Eye on Neutrals palette that I just recently got. I don't know, I must be living under a rock because this stuff is freaking phenomenal. The pigmentation and quality is something that I would expect from something much more expensive, and this was only $20 at Target. Loving that. So far, I think it's great. I would recommend that you get this if you need some matte neutral shades. That's a great palette for everyday use, for travel, because it's small and sleek. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to list everything down below that I used, and love this look. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and if you want to see it, then stay tuned. So all I have on here is just a little bit of primer. I'm using the Milani eyeshadow primer from the drugstore because it's good and it's cheap, so it's right up my alley. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is from the Sonia Kashuk palette. It looks like this. This is the Eye on Neutrals number 02. I'm going to go in with this shade right here, which is very close to my skin tone. All of these are matte, and I'm going to apply that all over my lid. And for that, I'm going to be using a Sigma E25 brush. Looks like this. It's a really good brush. I actually like this one a lot by Sigma. Okay, so then I'm going to switch to another E25. I have two of them. This is the one that I'm going to be using to do a lot of my placement of my eyeshadows. I'm going to start with this peach color here. Reminds me a lot of Peach Smoothie by Makeup Geek. And I'm going to stay pretty low with the colors. I'm not going to go up too high towards my brow bone this time around. So basically, it helps if you tilt your head back because you'll be able to see your natural indentation where your bone is. And you'll be able to just kind of apply it. And I like this E25 brush because it does help with applying the color and blending it out at the same time. So then with that same brush, what I'm going to do is go in with the next shade, which is a soft pinky mauve color. I'm just going to take just barely anything just to kind of add a little bit of extra warmth right in there. And it's just going to kind of deepen that up just a touch right in this area. Then with the same brush, I'm going to go in with this next shade right here, which is a soft tan. It's got a bit of a grayish tone to it. And I'm going to tap off the excess, and I'm going to start just kind of layering this right over those two colors. Then I'm going to switch to a Zoeva brush. This is the 231 Luxe Petite Crease. You can see it's very pointed. It's much larger than a pencil brush, but if you don't have this brush by Zoeva, you can just use a pencil brush. It would do the same. And then I'm going to go in with that same shade, and we're going to start deepening up this crease. And this brush is going to help keep it right in that actual socket instead of coming up too high. One thing that I recommend with these colors, because they're so pigmented, is to just apply a little bit and kind of build it up as you go. Don't worry about applying too much at first, because then it can get kind of messy. And then I'm going to go in with the 228 Luxe Crease, which is also by Zoeva. It's a little bit larger, as you can see here. This is the one that I was using to apply it, and this is the one here that I'm going to use to blend. And again, has that point to it, so it's going to keep that color pretty much where I applied it. It's just going to kind of diffuse the edges. Then with the same brush, I'm going to go down into this shade right here, which is a little bit deeper than the one that I just used. It's a little bit more tan. And again, start by deepening this up. And if you need to, you can always go back into your blending brush and kind of soften everything out. I'm going to come back to the crease here in a little bit. I'm going to start working on the lower lash line. I'm going to switch to the MAC 219, which is definitely a pencil style brush, to start with layering the color. So I'm going to go in with the peach, mixed with this pink, and then into the tan. And that's going to go on the lower lash line. Basically the same exact steps and colors that we used on the crease, we're going to kind of bring those down into the lower lash line. And then this is where you can kind of have some fun with it and just go a little lighter, go a little darker. You can use this darker shades if you have this palette, or just kind of do whatever you want. Now with that same 219 brush, I'm going to go in with this reddish color here. I love this color. It's very similar to Cocoa Bear by Makeup Geek, so if you have that, that's a good substitute. And I'm just going to kind of smoke this out. Once I have that applied, I'm going to go in with the lighter tan shade just to kind of soften all of this as well, so it's not as harsh. I know it looks harsh on camera, but in person it's a little bit softer. And then going with some more of that peach. Alright, so for some fun little pops of color, I'm going to use some foiled eyeshadows by Makeup Geek. That's what I've got going on here. I'm going to start with the color called In the Spotlight. It's a very beautiful champagne pink. And I'm going to apply this with a really small shadow brush. This is by Sonia Kashuk. It's very dense with the bristles, and it's going to apply a nice bit of product to the lid. This is the number 106. So I'm going to wipe it off really well because I use this for the dark shadow. So I'm just going to pick it up. And with these, you want to kind of just smush your brush in it. Don't kind of swipe it because it's not going to pick up a lot. So smush your brush. And you can see you pick up quite a bit. We're going to apply this to the inner and lower inner corner as well. And I'm going to go about halfway with this color. With that same brush, I'm going to go in with my next fold eyeshadow. This is called Houdini. It's a gorgeous teal color. I love this. It just, for some reason, this tone really makes my brown eyes pop, but it's a beautiful color any time of the year, but especially now for the fall. And again, kind of smushing the brush in there. And you want to keep this really low onto the lid. You don't want to go up too high. I'm going to kind of pull my lid just a touch, just to kind of get it a little bit smoother. And really work that up to meet up into the crease, but don't go up too high with it. Alright, so now that I've applied this color and I have it to the intensity that I prefer, as you can see, it's pretty harsh. So what I'm going to do is take that brush and just kind of wipe it off. You don't have to switch brushes or anything like that. And what you want to do is just kind of pat the brush back and forth. No swiping, just kind of patting. And what that's going to do is going to start diffusing these two lines between the light and the dark. And it's going to kind of blend that in. As you can see, the line is much softer. You may have to go back in and kind of retouch a little bit of the dark color. But I'm going to just kind of flip my brush over and just lightly pat it. And then again, wipe it off and kind of come back in just a touch more of In the Spotlight. Just to kind of make sure I didn't lose the intensity. But as you can see, very simple. You don't have to switch any brushes. Alright, so wiping off that brush really well, I'm going to take that same Houdini. I'm going to kind of bring it down just a little bit lower on my lower lash line. But I'm basically going to stop right where the color part of my eye ends. So here, you don't want anything in this inner part because I didn't want all of that green to kind of come all the way down, if that makes sense. But if you wanted to, you could. It's completely preference. I just wanted to do just something a little bit less. And I'm going to take a really tiny detail brush. This one is really dense with the bristles, so it's going to pick up the color and it's also going to deposit it really nicely on the lower lash line. So again, just kind of swiping. Alright, so now that I've already applied my shadow just as dark as I prefer it, I've also, ow, I just hit my hand. I've also tight lined my upper and lower waterlines with the Voluminous Smoldering Eyeliner by L'Oreal. So now for some gel liner or just liner in general, I'm using the one by Maybelline in black. And what I've done this time is I've basically done the liner halfway, and then I've done pretty big wing, I would say. I never really come out this far, but I figured why the heck not. And when I'm tapering it here, I kind of just stop right around where the color part of my eye starts. That's where the least amount of product is, because I don't want to go all the way in with this. And I'm using a bent brush. This is from Zoeva. It's the 315 Fine Liner. Great brush, and this liner is amazing. It's way, way better than my Bobbi Brown. Really close to the lashes. Alright, and then for mascara, I'm going to use the Covergirl, the Super Sizer for my lower lash line. And I'm going to use the Maybelline Rocket Volume for my upper lashes. And that's all I have on. I don't have any false eyelashes. This mascara is wonderful. Love it. So I'm going to apply this, and then I'll meet you back. Are done, and I love this look. I think it's just so beautiful. I love those foiled eyeshadows, and that Sonia Kashuk palette is the bomb. I am so in love, and this is like my official first time using it. I got it recently, so I hope that you guys enjoy this look as much as I do. This look can be perfect for the fall, for any time really, just to incorporate a little bit more color. Even though it's still kind of warm and it's in my comfort zone, I'm still using a bit of a kind of greenish teal shade that I don't normally reach for every day, and I'm so glad that I did today because I love it. Everything else for my face will be listed in the description box. I am using Airbrush Makeup today, so that is why I didn't do my face routine. But if you want to know what I am using as far as foundations besides the airbrush, then I will also list that down below. My lip combo will be down below as well for you. It's just using Milani lip liner that I've been using every day. I love this in the shade All Natural, and over the top is the MAC Cream, Sheen Supreme in Supreme Style lipstick. I'm gonna say cream cup, but no, it's not cream cup, it's Supreme Style. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, like the video, leave your comments down below, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.